Wrestling fans, years have become months that have become weeks, and now we're talking days and even hours as Boston Wrestling MWF celebrates its 20th anniversary, going back to the 90s. Saturday night, November the 13th at Memorial Hall in Melrose, Massachusetts. The superstars and legends of yesterday, today, and tomorrow will take part in a live wrestling event, autograph photo, fan fest, VIP exclusive Q&A, plus the kickoff to our annual Paul Bear Holiday Headlocks Toy Drive. After Jimmy Kimmel embarrassed Melrose for, well, being Melrose, we're also going to have a superstar costume contest where best dressed wins an awesome autographed prize. On November the 13th, you'll see and meet two-time WWE World Champion and Hall of Famer Bob Backlund, WWE Hall of Famer Bushwhacker Luke, WWE Hall of Famer Alundra Blayze, a.k.a. Medusa, from WCW, WWE Intercontinental and Tag Team Champion Marty Jannetty, the Doctor of Style Slick, Doink The Clown, Duke the Dumpster Droese, Portuguese Man of War Aldo Montoya, plus two-time Impact Wrestling World Champion Die Hard Eddie Edwards, JTG of Cryme Time, Cena Sr, Oscar of Men on a Mission, AEW's Jora, Johl, and more. VIP packages and tickets are on sale now at bostonwrestling.com. We'll see you live November the 13th.
This is Mick Foley.
This is Harley Race.
This is Shelton Benjamin.
This is Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff.
This is the Monster Abyss.
And this is Daniel Bryan.
This is JBL, and you're watching the MWF.
Be there live.
Wrestling fans around the corner, around the world, it is time for your Monday Night Delight after a 3-hour WWE Monday Night Raw. It is time for the Wrestling Insider Monday Night Mission. Dan Marotti, along with your host with the most, former WWF Tag Team Championship manager, a man that from coast to coast and around the globe nearly blew the roof off of every major arena he rapped and rocked in. We're talking about the one, the only, the guiding light of Men on a Mission, a man we're going to be seeing this Saturday Night Live when Boston Wrestling MWF celebrates its 20th anniversary at Memorial Hall in Melrose. Oscar of Men on a Mission. Oscar, once again, as always, it is a pleasure.
Oh, man, it's a pleasure to be with you. You know you're one of my favorite people.
Well, thank you.
On the planet.
Wait until you see the poster.
Okay, yeah, I'm waiting for Beta Press, because I sure wasn't happy last week.
Well, see, you jumped the gun, baby. And after all that Golden Corral, I don't know how much jumping you should be doing.
Yeah, I know. I couldn't jump but so high. So don't even worry about it.
You got me craving a little Golden Corral.
Well, you need to go. You need to come to where. Oh, let me see, Boston. What buffets y'all got? What buffets do y'all have?
Maybe at the casino, the Encore Casino. Maybe there's one. I'm gonna guess. There was a delicious Brazilian one next to Kowloon that we'd go to from time to time, but that closed down due to the virus.
Okay.
There is I can't even think of the name of it. I know exactly where it is. It's in Revere. It's gonna come to me as soon as I don't need to know.
Right. Well, that's okay, but
I'll look up the name though. It's another one of those that can be, sometimes it can be good, sometimes it can be blah.
I didn't see too much buffet action when I was out, all the times I was out there in the Boston area.
I'm trying, and here's the thing: I don't know what the situation may be post-virus, but I know I can think of two of them in the area, and I'm going to guess that the Encore Casino would have to have one, wouldn't you think?
Yeah, no, they got one.
Oh, you know?
Yeah, I haven't been there, but I mean, it's a casino. It's a big casino, so I can't imagine them not having one. I don't know if it's open now, due to everything that's going on, but they started to open them back up. Because most of the Golden Corrals that I frequent are wide open now. So
did Golden Corral have a lot of shutdowns?
Oh man, they closed down all of them for a long time. Yeah.
Well, I know there were some buffets where they'd actually serve you with the seat, which must have been very busy for some of the servers. For a hungry person, my God, having to give an order to fill a plate.
Right. No, I never experienced that. I do know that when I lived in Indiana, the one that I used to frequent in Maryville, Indiana, shut down. But there was just a fraction of the virus was just a fraction of the story. He owned two of them, one in Maryville, Indiana, and one in Cherville, Indiana. And and when things started opening back up, they didn't. They were closed down for good. Where it turns out that the guy that owned the restaurant was involved in some kind of murder situation.
There was a murder involved with Golden Corral.
There was a murder involved, and he was involved with the murder. I don't know if he committed the murder or what, but that was the reason why the restaurant never opened back up.
Well, did it take place at the Golden Corral?
No, it didn't. No.
As far as I know, in Massachusetts, I only know of one, and it's all the way out near Springfield, which is, a good hour and a half plus away. So unless you're really craving Golden Corral, I don't know if you'd want to see that one.
Yeah, no, I'm not going way out there for Golden Corral. I'd rather eat at the Kowloon.
There you go. Now you're talking, baby. All right, my friend, we are now 5 nights away from the big one. I am on fumes, just trying to get to the finish line. I feel like I'm running the Boston Marathon. We got people calling on the phone. It has been pure and utter mayhem. What is going on in the world of Oscar right now?
Well, right now, they voting for Grammy nominations is over, and we're waiting for the big night, February 23rd, to see if we made it.
Oh, they won't even announce who the nominees are until February.
Until February 23rd. I'm sorry. No, November 23rd.
Oh, no, all right, I was going to say, that's quite a ways away.
No, the actual Grammys is in February, excuse me. But November 23rd is when they make the announcement, and that's when you know whether or not you're a nominee. So we'll see.
How are you feeling about this Grammy nomination?
To get where I've gotten is an honor in and of itself. Mm-hmm. To be on the list for a nomination.
Yeah, that's a hell of an accomplishment, even if you don't make the final cut.
Yeah, it's great. To get a nomination would be, beyond phenomenal. But I just don't know. I should be more excited, but I just can't get there for some reason. I went in. I made the music. I made the music in and out the hospital with heart problems. It was a hell of a ride. But now I'm here at this place, and I'm like, okay, if I get the nomination, I get it. If I don't, I don't. If I don't, I don't. But we'll see what happens. And I should be more proud than I am. But
no, you should be proud.
I guess I get there.
Now, if you do get nominated, where are you going to go for dinner? Is it going to be a Golden Corral night, or will it be someplace a little more fancy?
No, if I get nominated, whether I'm nominated or not, my crew is going to the Super Bowl.
Super Bowl? Well, that's a hell of a treat.
Yeah, that is one thing that I'm going to do. But if I get the nomination, I'm going to take Dreamy to Hawaii.
You're going to take Dreamy to Hawaii?
I'm going to go to Hawaii. I'm going to definitely do that to celebrate.
Now, does she know that?
Nope.
Well, hopefully she's not listening to the podcast, but
yeah, well, she I'm gonna keep her from it because that'll be a hell of a surprise.
Now, what are you gonna do with this baby? You're gonna bring the baby to Hawaii?
You know what? I don't. It doesn't look like the baby is gonna be in the equation anytime soon. Believe plans have changed. I haven't heard nothing about it. We got the apartment. We setting it up, real nice so that we could accommodate the situation should it arise, but I haven't heard nothing else about it. I would think the baby would have been here by now if she were coming. So, disappointingly, I don't know if that's happening.
So you moved for no reason?
No, I didn't move for no reason. We were going to move here anyway.
But you've had to move since you moved, right?
Well, see, here's the thing. It wasn't just the baby. I mean, this lady put the hammer down and said nobody could visit. She said Mimi's mother couldn't even visit.
Wow.
So we was going to move anyway.
She sounds like someone I know down at 590 Main Street, but that's a different story for a different time.
Was like, Piggott. She was Piggott's cousin.
Well, so are you situated in the new place yet?
No, I mean...
Or are you still in the old place?
Huh?
Are you in the new place, or are you in the old place right now?
We've been in the new place a couple of weeks now.
Oh, okay, good. So you're just getting situated.
We got all our appliances in place. We just got boxes of our stuff that we're unpacking and finding a place for, and we got a lot of room, a lot of closet space, a lot of place for that. Dreamy got a plan for everything. I stay out of it. I just pay for stuff. I stay in my lazy boy in my corner with my stuff. I play with my toys because I just got a brand new remote control car that does a bunch of amazing things that I've been playing with and staying out the way.
All right. Well, you really can't do much with the boat at your house, I guess.
Nah.
I don't know if there's enough room in the bathtub for the remote control boat.
We have a lake outside.
Oh, really?
I'm gonna look in the plan with the boat out there.
All right. Well, you got a lot of gadgets over there you've been enjoying.
Yeah, I'm having a ball. I'm in my second childhood for some reason.
Well, good for you.
With Christmas coming up, I told Mimi yesterday I'm expecting some amazing toys. I'm going to give her a pretty good budget for Christmas, and I expect a couple of brand new gadgets.
So you're going to give Mimi a good budget for Christmas to buy you gifts?
A good budget for Christmas to buy me gifts.
Well,
and on her birthday is January 14th, and I'm planning an amazing birthday, an elaborate dinner. I'm flying some of her best friends, and she don't know nothing about it, and it's going to be a really nice party.
Wow, Daddy Warbucks over there.
Daddy Warbucks my ass. I'm working hard to pull all of this crap off.
You are a man on a mission in more ways than one, I guess, between...
You better know. You only live once.
You know what? There's something to be said about that. You know what? It's not like you got any, unless this baby comes into your world, you don't have any kids to worry about leaving an inheritance to or anything like that.
Yeah, no, that's not exactly true.
That's right. What am I saying?
Yeah, leave something to my boys, whether they deserve it or not. But I had them when I die, When I die, everybody deserves something. But for right now, I'm just, live. I mean, we got the apartment. We got money put up to pay rent for some months down the line. And, so, just the important stuff. Being good stewards of what we earn. And just we keep on going. We in the midst of finalizing things with the David Reese situation, which is just a real exciting thing, and there's a lot of moving parts to that situation. But it'll be after he signs the contract, which should be any time now, that I can get into the whole story of what all that entails. But it's something that's needed. I mean, recently we just heard, and I know you know this story, Jon Moxley went into rehab for alcoholism. And it's just a hard psychological time for the boys, WWE, AEW alike, and everywhere else. So a program that addresses that is long overdue, and now it's being put into place. He's already working it. I mean, I can't give you no names, but he's already at it. And if you're already at something before you got a formal situation, then you know that it's a desperate cry to have something like this going.
Well, Dr. David Reese is the man for the job. While you bring it up, what are your thoughts on Jon Moxley and his situation? How would it be looked at maybe in your generation for someone to succumb to saying, geez, I need help with alcohol abuse? Would it be kind of frowned upon back in the early 90s, or would it be looked at as weak?
People got people. I mean, it's been prevalent as far back as I can remember, but it was never really frowned upon. I mean, life is life. People are gonna have problems.
Yeah. Back in your era in WWF, did you see a lot of alcohol abuse?
There was, there was alcohol, drugs. There was a lot of things floating around. I mean, it was what it was. So, sure. I mean, it was, it was a lot of problems like that going around. See, that's the reason why, over the years, the WWE put in place that program where they would pay vast sums of money to send former talent, to rehab if they needed
big money.
And I don't think they were sending them to some broken down places either. I think they were sending them to some top-notch facilities.
6-figure places, I've been told.
Yeah, okay.
High-class facilities. But, we can only wish the man the best. Hopefully he can overcome his problems while he's in this treatment center and, have good help once he gets out so he doesn't relapse.
I really hate to hear it because he is such a talent and was at the top of the tier over at AEW. So, I agree with you. I hope that he can get the help he needs and get help post his stay at the rehab center and get back to work so he can be as good or better a talent than he ever was in AEW, because that's a huge loss for them.
Yeah.
That's not, I don't mean loss as in he ain't coming back. It's a loss for them right now that he's not able to work and that he's got to deal with these demons.
Well, on paper, you'd think that life would be good. He left WWE where he was stressed out. He's in a company now with a more limited schedule, with more creative freedom. One of the top guys making, mucho dinero. He's married to a lovely lady. I believe, I don't know if the baby has just come or it's on its way, but, fatherhood is in his life now. So on paper, you'd think life would be nice, but, you never know what can be going on through someone in their mind or through their body.
The demons that he had over at WWE, he took with him. Where when you have demons that people have that drive them to this kind of thing, they are psychological and emotional issues that stem from who the hell knows what went on in his life from childhood up until now, and people don't get the help that they need to let those things go. So they get into drugs and they get into the bottle and all that, but we have no idea what is steering these things in his life.
Yeah.
And I talked to David Reese about it, and I suggested to him that he really needs to look into it because it's not just an alcoholic issue.
Yeah.
It is a psychological thing that he really needs to, if he chooses to, he needs to address so that he really can get better.
Well, he's going to have the best of the best if he has David Reese to consult with once he's out of rehab.
Yeah, he's going to have top tier help, and that's the reason why I'm proud. I'm proud. The stars line up. David Reese and I have been trying to do this for years,
long time,
and we couldn't quite put it together, but now it's together and it's under the umbrella of a company that really, really takes care of business.
Yeah,
and I'm just glad that it's in place, and I'm gonna help out, in any way that I can. And part of the conversation is, the AEW management has, other sports entities that they deal with.
Sure, yep, between the Jaguars and soccer and...
Yeah, so the program can easily, be extended into other areas. So, I mean, the possibilities are endless.
Well, it's almost like you and Reese are men on a mission.
Yeah, no, we are definitely men on a mission. But this mission is, it's just beyond fabulous.
Well, not like Johnny Fabulous, a.k.a. John Cena Sr. That's a different story for a different time. We talk about losses in the King of Sports Professional Wrestling, Oscar. A man you may be more familiar with than I, as you were a fan before I. King Kong Angelo Mosca passed away over the weekend.
Yeah, I remember Mosca from the days where I frequented my family down south, going solely. Mosca explodes. Mosca would get in the ring and he would just go right to it with a tenacity like you owed him money. And he was just rough and tough. And I mean, oh my God, that's a huge loss. Never met the man personally. I didn't know him, but I knew of him. I was a fan, and he'll be sorely missed.
Well, hell of a reputation that the man had. Probably on this show, Wrestling Insiders, the most humorous story may have been Tony Atlas sharing the story of Mosca urinating on hotel elevators that got the guys thrown out of where they like to stay in Boston. I guess he couldn't hold it on a regular basis. When he had to go, he had to go.
Oh man, yeah, that's terrible when somebody do something and then the whole territory gets thrown out of a hotel. You get a telephone call and you ask to leave and you don't know why. You ain't did nothing.
For one person's urination.
But it happens. We used to myself and some of the members of NWA, the rap group, and some other prominent Snoop Dogg was a part of the crew. We used to go all about 3.5 hours up to Big Bear to get in the cabins.
Mm-hmm.
And we used to get up there and just for them to tell us we couldn't stay there because of the last time we stayed there. So
what would happen the last time you were there?
They'd just get rowdy and just tear up cabins and throw things in the swimming pool and get rambunctious. So yeah, we had a reputation, and they would refuse to rent us a room.
Did you ever get involved in anything like that at these cabins?
I wasn't involved. I was involved in getting turned away and having to go 4 hours back home.
Who did you know from NWA, Oscar?
Everybody.
Really?
I came up in the rap game with half of the prominent figures of the West Coast rap scene.
Wow. Why did in all of our conversations? Unless I'm forgetting, I don't ever remember you mentioning NWA.
Yeah, NWA and Snoop Dogg, and you had DJ Quick, and you had you had most people that wound up on Death Row Records, like Tupac Shakur, and I mean, yeah, everybody. We all came up the same way.
Wow, I'm very impressed. I'm not exactly a music aficionado, but I recognized every name that you just mentioned.
I came up with them participating in shows and things that were going on, but the New York rap scene, I was a fan. I was a fan of the New York rap scene. I wanted to be a part of it, but I wasn't good enough. I mean, I tried. Believe you me, and it was really, really, really painful. Trying to be part of the big conglomerate of New York rappers, because they just, New Yorkers are just so harsh. But I was welcomed to the West Coast rap scene with open arms, and you know, I could easily say that, and it's the West Coast rap scene that encouraged me to keep going on and on and on, and then it the rest is history. But that's where I started. But if I just depended on New York to try to validate me and keep going, I never would have done anything. Never would have been in Vegas that fateful day and met Vince.
Yeah.
Never would have, be on my way to a Grammy nomination. So it's the West Coast rap scene that took me in, showed me a lot of love, and validated whatever talents that whatever talents I garnered.
Which rap scene would you say was stronger, Oscar? The West Coast or the East Coast?
The East Coast, to me, the East Coast was definitely stronger.
Now, who were some of those names?
I mean, you had Curtis Blow, and you had Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five, and you just had, the Sugar Hill Gang, which was the first rap group to have a record on the radio, to actually make a record.
Mm-hmm.
You had guys like Spoonie G was another name. You just had a lot of powerhouses in rap, where rap first started out in the East Coast and the West Coast didn't catch up for a long time. The West Coast didn't catch up for some years.
Yeah. Now, do you think David Reese was involved in the West Coast rap game at all?
No, but
You think he had any NWA CDs?
no, Red David Reese back at that. David Reese back at that time.
He was worried about his horses.
Yeah, that's about the time.
Are you there, Oscar? Oscar! Oscar! Oh, dear Lord. I don't know if that was his phone or if he had a heart attack after a little too much Golden Corral fans. Right now, we'll take a brief timeout. I'll try and get Oscar back. Get ready, wrestling fans, this Saturday night, November the 13th at Memorial Hall in Melrose. Boston Wrestling MWF celebrates its 20th anniversary as we go back to the 90s. Get your tickets now, bostonwrestling.com. Wrestling fans, years have become months that have become weeks, and now we're talking days and even hours as Boston Wrestling MWF celebrates its 20th anniversary, going back to the 90s. Saturday night, November the 13th at Memorial Hall in Melrose, Massachusetts. The superstars and legends of yesterday, today, and tomorrow will take part in a live wrestling event, autograph photo, fan fest, VIP exclusive Q&A, plus the kickoff to our annual Paul Bear Holiday Headlocks Toy Drive. After Jimmy Kimmel embarrassed Melrose for, well, being Melrose, we're also going to have a superstar costume contest where best dressed wins an awesome autographed prize. On November the 13th, you'll see and meet two-time WWE World Champion and Hall of Famer Bob Backlund, WWE Hall of Famer Bushwhacker Luke, WWE Hall of Famer Alundra Blayze, a.k.a. Medusa, from WCW, WWE Intercontinental and Tag Team Champion Marty Jannetty, the Doctor of Style Slick, Doink The Clown, Duke the Dumpster Droese, Portuguese Man of War Aldo Montoya, plus two-time Impact Wrestling World Champion Die Hard Eddie Edwards, JTG of Cryme Time, John Cena Sr., Oscar of Men on a Mission, AEW's Jora, Johl, and more. VIP packages and tickets are on sale now at bostonwrestling.com. We'll see you live November the 13th. Wrestling fans around the corner, around the world, I'm Dan Marati.
And I'm John Cena Sr.
Johnny, the momentum here in Boston Wrestling continues as we continue to build and build and build. The fans want to know, how do we help? We subscribe to the Patreon, but we see all the great merchandise on that set. Coronavirus may have killed the nightlife, especially for someone like Marty, but our acclaimed eBay store is open 24/7 around the world.
Wow. Check it out.
On October 28th, 2020, Wrestling's Scariest Night was back with WWE NXT Halloween Havoc. This limited edition collector's autograph poster is number 12 of only 100 produced and is signed by all 9 superstars featured on the poster, including Johnny Gargano, Damian Priest, Candice LeRae, Io Shirai, Dexter Loomis, Cameron Grimes, Rhea Ripley, Raquel Gonzalez, and your Halloween Havoc host, Shotzi Blackheart. Comes with WWE authentication hologram on the back. You'll also receive an on-air thank you from WWE Hall of Famer Mr. USA Tony Atlas and a bonus mystery autograph photo. Help keep wrestling legends working. Get this awesome collectible now. Wrestling fans, especially here in the Boston area, we want to thank our great friends at Red Rose for their support for all of our charitable endeavors and programming efforts. Red Rose is 2 years young and extremely thankful for all the support they've had from our neighbors here in Melrose and beyond for an amazing first 2 years. Red Rose thanks Melrose and all of the first responders who have fought the good fight and have never given up hope during these unprecedented times. We did it together. Follow Red Rose on Facebook for their anniversary special, facebook.com/Red Rose Melrose. You'll be glad you did. Open until 2 a.m. Red Rose will give you fresh, piping hot, mouth-watering food that'll put an ear-to-ear smile on even the toughest critic's face. Check out their full menu online at redrosema.com or give them a call, 781-620-1889. All right, wrestling fans, I found him. You know, I know he's getting all excited about these Grammys and these Golden Corrals, but you know what? He's alive and he's with us, so that's a good thing. We're looking forward to seeing him amongst many of the other luminaries this Saturday night at Memorial Hall in Melrose. I know he's blown the roof off of many arenas around the country, around the globe. Memorial Hall's roof is in a little bit of trouble. You might have an easy time blowing the roof off of Memorial Hall. I think they're holding it down with Scotch tape at this point.
Are they going to let you in the building?
Well, you know what? I was asked by Chairman Manolian not to bring that up this week. I forgot to mention that before we went on the air. I got a little bit of a tongue lashing after last week's episode, but we are working on a little mini documentary that the fans, I think, are going to enjoy once the event is all said and done. We're going to tape a little bit before the event, then a little bit after the event, and I think fans that are interested in that type of behind-the-scenes workings to see what it's like to put together an event of this magnitude and some of the stresses, the frustrations, the excitement that goes along with it. You know, it's kind of, I think it'll be unique. I hope the fans like it. We'll have to wait and see, not to be confused with our good friend, Den Fan of Room 211 at the MGM in Las Vegas. But anyway, back to business. We've talked a little rap. We talked about the passing of Angelo Mosca. We've been talking about the good that AEW is trying to do in the world of mental health and beyond. Jon Moxley going to rehab for alcoholism, which is a good thing for him long-term, for his health. What else do we got going on, Oscar? Another big, giant batch of releases.
Man, big, giant batch of releases. Oh, my God. You know, I have a thought.
What do you got?
I am starting to believe that the WWE is realizing that the formula from the 90s and just a tad bit further works. And what I mean by the formula is I believe that they're starting to see that it doesn't take 100 people on a roster in order to make the wrestling formula work. Now, that being said, I'm surprised that some of the people that's getting released, I mean, you got your Keith Lee, which I'm not. I'm surprised he got released, but I could understand why he got released because, I mean, there's nothing really to do with him. They can do. You know, Nia Jax.
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, if you're creative enough, I think you can come up with something for just about anybody. But, you know, Keith Lee, I found his promos to sound forced and fake. I don't think they ever sounded very sincere. I don't know if that was because of the creative material he was presented with, or maybe he just wasn't a good promo, or maybe it was a combination of the two.
It's the latter. It's something that I try to teach these young cats when I'm talking to them, or I'm involved in a seminar or anything. Your promos have got to be spot on, or you are not going to make it. you are not gonna make a lot of money, or hence you are just not gonna make it in the business. If you get in the big time, you're not gonna stay there. It's not your wrestling ability; it's your character.
To me, it came across like he was almost mocking a wrestling promo in his delivery of them. I didn't like it at all.
Now, Nia Jax.
Please. She should have been gone before she was signed. Terrible. Terrible. Not only was she injury prone, but she was prone to injure others. Careless,
Yeah,
obviously with the
fired.
physical condition she was in. Not exactly a tremendous athlete or someone prone to try and get themselves into prime athletic condition. One man's opinion. Lots of people, they may not have six-pack abs, but they can still go to the gym.
Rumors fly around all the time, but I read rumors that they may not be so prone to renew Johnny Gargano's contract when it's up kind of soon.
Well, you know what? We can discuss that too. Would it be the end of the world for WWE if they didn't have a guy 5'6", 5'7" that's been around for several years?
Excuse me. I got to pause 1 second. I'll be right back. I'm sorry.
All right. Maybe the Golden Corral is doing a little delivery for Oscar. Well, while Oscar's gone, I hope if you are in the Northeast, we'll see you on Saturday night. We're going to have a great time with the superstars and legends of yesterday, today, and tomorrow. VIP exclusive Q&A, autograph photo fan fest, in-ring action that is, again, going to be piping hot. And it's also the kickoff to the Paul Bearer Holiday Headlocks Toy Drive. Going to have a raffle. One winner takes all. It's going to be like that jackpot that used to be offered on the old Bozo the Clown show, which I used to always wish was me. Was able to try and win that jackpot of prizes. We're going to have some great silent auctions where you can bid on some tremendous items, thanks to our friends at WWE. As usual, they take exceptionally good care of us. We're going to have great merchandise for sale across the board, but it's going to be a night where you create wrestling memories you'll never forget. To be able to interact with these superstars in such an intimate way, as opposed to, say, WrestleMania Fan Access, which I'm told is, it's almost like trying to move, animals through a line real quick. Take a picture, hi, bye. Take a picture, hi, bye. Take a picture, hi, bye. At an event like ours, you'll have a chance to say hello, share a memory or two with one superstar or all the superstars. If you're a VIP, obviously, you get access to all 8 of our featured 90s legends, plus all the other special guests we'll have on hand, from Impact Wrestling's Eddie Edwards, AEW's Jora Johl, Major League Wrestling's Myron Reed, who was ranked number 103 in Pro Wrestling Illustrated this year. Cena Sr. will be there along with all of his goods, like he's turning into the home shopping channel with his soda pop and his hot sauce, and apparently even now mints. Cena Sr. mints. I don't know if you would want those in your stocking to be stuffed into, but they will be available. And another man that's like a walking QVC, JTG. I don't know if he's going to have all of his different colognes and fragrances and tea moss, which I am waiting to try. Apparently it's great for the libido, but great night it is going to be, fans. Those posters that are available to the VIP Ultra FanFest holders, my gosh, what a great collectible that's going to be, along with all the other items you can have signed from your own collection, the 8x10s that'll be on sale. We are certainly looking forward to celebrating 2 decades of this great organization as we kick off decade number 3. Will I be alive at the end of decade number 3? I don't know how I made it this far, but again, that's a different story for a different time. We have fans coming from here, right in the city of Melrose. We have fans coming from as far away as Virginia to the big event. So it is going to be happening. The orders are flying. Again, keep in mind, if you want an Ultra or a Platinum VIP package, they're almost gone. And the cutoff hold on 1 sec, Oscar. The cutoff to get them is Thursday, 12 p.m. Eastern. We have too much work to do Friday and Saturday and even on Sunday to try and organize VIP packages at that point. Remaining tickets will be on sale at the venue on Saturday, and that will include the VIP Gold package, which includes the group 90s Legends photo, along with an assigned floor seat. And we'll also have general admission tickets on sale at the door Saturday. Both cash and credit card will be available. And with that said, the man on a mission himself is back. Oscar, where did you go? I mean, did you have a Grubhub delivery? What's happening?
No, I got an emergency call from the record company.
Is everything all right?
Yeah, no, everything,
okay, good.
Everything is great. On the 18th, we're getting ready to do a pretty big Zoom television show.
Really?
So yeah, we trying to get that together.
Oh wow! Well, best of luck with that. That's on that's midweek, I think. That's a Thursday, right? Yeah. All right.
Yep.
Well, hopefully, is it something that people will be able to watch when it's over, or no?
Yeah, it will be. I'll get the details, and then I'll be more than happy to share it with you guys.
Well, we can talk about that, I guess, probably 2 episodes from now, once it's completed, and yeah, however people can access it, they can access it. But we talked about Keith Lee. Is he someone you would have kept on your roster, Oscar, or would have been bye-bye?
I would have got rid of Keith Lee a long time ago.
And what about Jax?
I don't know. I mean, I kind of like Jax. I kind of like having. I kind of like having, instead of having a nimble female that just look good and do a bunch of flips and moves and all that. I kind of liked having, I refer to her as a monster on the female. She reminded me of having, what's the other, well, I can't think of nobody no more. Awesome Kong. Having somebody like
that's
that.
insulting to Awesome Kong to compare her to her. Now your Jax looked like an 8-pack of hot dogs that we shrink wrapped at the supermarket.
I'm talking size. I'm talking size-wise.
All right.
I'm talking about having a big woman.
Kong had ability.
She does. But I'm talking about having a big woman in the mix was a pretty good to the dynamic. So,
you still have Doudrop.
Oh my God! How you let go Nia Jax?
Keep Doudrop.
But see, here's the thing, though. I can tell y'all, and I can promise y'all 1,000%, maybe not the next wave of releases, but a wave coming up, before spring of 2022, Doudrop will be in the mix of people that are, non-exist that are gotta go. But here's another rumor that I read in the same article that on the bubble is Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. What do you think of that?
Well, again, let's go back. As you think Doudrop is going to be dropped, you mentioned Johnny Gargano before you took that call. I mean, would he be a loss to the WWE Universe? I think they've turned him into an idiot once they turned him into a heel. It wouldn't faze me in the least. I think he had a great run as a babyface. It's too bad they decided to go the heel route with him. He may be better suited for AEW, where there's a lot of smaller competition. As far as Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn go, I have zero interest in either one of them. Kevin Owens, I could see going to AEW, where he has so many friends there, is going back to Kevin Steen. But I just, I think they brought him in with a bang when he had that feud with John Cena. When he debuted, he looked fantastic there. He had a great run in NXT when he was there. And then I don't know what happened. I just, the basketball shorts and the T-shirt look, while, he was one of the few to do it, came across as amateurish to me. I guess a lot of it, there was supposed to be humor in his promos. I didn't think it was all that funny. Sami Zayn, I've never liked. I think it would be, I'd like to see him go. Maybe he needs a fresh coat of paint in a new company, and maybe both of them would find greater success in a new company. I don't know. As far as my enjoyment of the show goes, there are two people I have zero interest in seeing on WWE nowadays. But you know what? Maybe there are companies that could come up with different ideas for them and use them better. And if that's the case, best of luck to them,
You talk about Sami Zayn going to AEW, which begs an interesting question. When being in WWE, is that an automatic ticket to another promotion that's relevant once you're released?
I think it helps. I think it certainly helps. I mean, you're talking about, you're on the major league brand of the genre. I mean, anytime you can get someone that was featured on their television program for so long, with few exceptions, it's a great pickup for that organization. Now, do you want to be looked at as the group, almost like what TNA used to do, was sign virtually anyone that was released by WWE? No, I think that comes across as a bad look. But if you're selective in who you pick, I think AEW has done a great job cherry picking who they have decided to bring in from the different releases over the past year and a half.
Okay.
It can be a great thing. I tell you, the one that really shocked me that I thought had a lot of potential, especially where WWE is looking for size. Maybe he's not the youngest guy on the roster, but certainly had the size and was over in NXT to the nth degree, was Karrion Kross and his valet Scarlett. I don't know why WWE decided to break them up on the main brand. The fans didn't like it. They tried to repackage them. The fans didn't like that. They talked about doing a third repackage in about a month's time, and then they just decided to drop them. I think that was a mistake. That's my opinion on that one.
Does Karrion Kross go to AEW?
The one thing about Karrion Kross is the way he left Impact, I didn't particularly care for that. Almost along the lines of Tessa Blanchard, where he had a valid contract, he got over huge, and then he felt like he was worth more money and wanted to leave and go to a different promotion. When a company signs you to a contract, they're investing in you. I just don't think you should abandon ship.
Definitely.
If could you imagine a baseball player doing that in the middle of a season, saying, "I'm having a really big year. I'm worth more money than you're paying me. I'm leaving." So I don't know all the particulars that went down. Maybe there were some valid reasons why he left. But for him, I don't think Impact should be known as the company that'll just let anybody go at any time if they decide they want to. I don't think that's a good look for Impact. I think that says to their roster, okay, we're here now, we're collecting a paycheck. If we don't like it or if we can get more money somewhere else, we'll just go to the office and leave. I don't think that's a good picture, a good presentation. And that may not be the exact way it goes down, but it's not too far off base because of those that I know of, I don't know of anyone that's been turned down to leave. So
Okay.
Impact should be worried about building its brand. Karrion Kross, he's someone he probably should have never left. I don't know how much money he was making in NXT, but whatever he made on the main roster, he wasn't there very long, and now he's got the no-compete clause for 90 days. If I was AEW, would I pick him up? Sure. I mean, he was over. He had great size. I would pick up his valet as well.
I definitely agree with you there. All right. Switching gears is a question I've been wanting to bring up.
All right.
I thought that having WrestleMania on a Saturday and Sunday was a one-off, but it seems like it seems like the normal course of business now. Is that a good thing? I really don't think so.
Really? Well, you know what? Respectfully, I disagree with you 110%. I think for them to be able to have 2 nights of 2, 4-hour or so shows, to have, quality matches across the board, get everybody they want to get on those events, I think that's a smart course of action. I think maybe at some point in time you get to 1 night is exclusively Raw, 1 night is exclusively SmackDown. I don't know if they have that in their plans, but those long WrestleMania shows that began in Orlando back at WrestleMania 33, I think, where it would start at 5 o'clock and it would end after midnight. It was excruciating to try and sit through. To try and do it for 2 nights, back-to-back, 2 shorter shows that are enjoyable and fun to watch. You don't feel drained. You're not looking at the clock saying, when is this going to end? I want to go home. I think it's a great idea on WWE's behalf. They don't need to have an NXT takeover on Saturday night. Just give them 2 nights of WrestleMania. Come up with incentives to go both nights, maybe a discount on tickets to go to 2 as opposed to just 1. And, I know Tampa was limited as far as how many people could attend at Raymond James Stadium this year, but I thought as far as the presentation went, outside of the monsoon that was going on that caused the rain delay, I thought it was great to have the 2 nights of WrestleMania. It was much more enjoyable to sit through from, say, I don't even remember the time, say 7 to 11 as opposed to 5 to 12:30. It was just, that was too much, too long. 2 nights, I think you get a much higher quality product. You could argue that WrestleMania maybe should only be limited to 4 hours. I could see that argument too, but I also like the fact that so many of the WWE pay-per-views in 2022 are going to take place on Saturdays as opposed to Sundays. I like that very much. I think Saturday is a better night for it.
Yeah, definitely.
Sunday night, I think sometimes you're crunched with people that have to get up and go to work the next day, especially if they're attending live. It kind of limits pay-per-view parties. I think in the 2 January pay-per-views, I believe both of them are on Saturday, which would be the New Year's Day pay-per-view in your backyard now of Hotlanta, Georgia, and then the Royal Rumble at the football stadium in St. Louis. February is, I believe, a Thursday pay-per-view in the Kingdom of Jeddah in Saudi Arabia, and then that leads into the 2-night WrestleMania, and then it kind of jumps around a little bit. The May pay-per-view is going to be in Providence. That's on a Sunday. I know the July 4th weekend pay-per-view, Money in the Bank, is going to be on a Saturday at the football stadium in Las Vegas. I believe SummerSlam is going to be at the football stadium in Nashville, Tennessee in late July for the first time ever. The first time ever SummerSlam won't be in August. It'll be the last Saturday in July in Nashville, Tennessee, the home of I believe, the Tennessee Titans. Then nothing in August because Labor Day weekend, they're going to pay homage to the 30th anniversary of SummerSlam 92. They're trying to pull off a major stadium show over in England. I don't know if it's going to be a regular WWE pay-per-view, if it's going to have a special name, but you'd think maybe they would have wanted to do that with SummerSlam, or maybe they look at it as if SummerSlam can draw a big gate here in the United States. If we bring that 30th pay-per-view over to one of the football stadiums in England, we're looking at another monster gate. So,
okay, now let me ask you a question.
Yes.
All right, now you said Money in the Bank is going to be at a stadium, right?
Yeah, where you were in Las Vegas.
Okay, now are we reaching now, because we pull off stadium shows for WrestleMania, and that's fine. Okay, they graduated, and I'm sorry that one of the things that I'm sorry about in my career was I didn't get to do a stadium show. I mean, I would love to have done that in my career, but I didn't get to come saw it happens. But the question is, are they doing too many stadium shows?
I think 2 stadium shows over the course of 4 weeks is a lot. I don't know if there are that many traveling fans that could afford to go twice in 1 month. Granted, it is the summertime. It is July. Las Vegas is usually pretty busy July 4th week. I was there for UFC Fight Week a few years back, and there are a lot of tourists. I'm sure Money in the Bank will probably be set up like Royal Rumble. It's not going to be set up for 70,000 people. They'll probably have, they're probably banking, no pun intended, on 45,000 or so. And the same thing for SummerSlam in Nashville. I can't imagine they're expecting 80,000 in Nashville. Probably the same thing. Maybe, half to 2/3 of the stadium, and the rest they'll either curtain off or they'll have a large set to try and block off. But I do think 2 major NFL stadium shows in 1 month, that is a lot as far as trying to expect a large crowd. I don't know if they'd have to go the route of trying to paper the crowd or doing discount tickets. Or, in Las Vegas, there's always a lot of casino buys nonetheless. But I think that could be tough. I could be wrong. I hope I'm wrong. I hope they both sell out. But I just don't think the product is that hot right now.
Yeah, no, that's my point. I agree. I mean, I believe it's a reach. I mean, Money in the Bank is a good pay-per-view. SummerSlam, I believe, can get away with it, but I believe it should be SummerSlam and WrestleMania. I do believe they can fill a stadium in England because those fans are phenomenal.
Oh, yeah.
And they pay a lot. They pay a lot for tickets.
And I tell you this, I bet you that when they go to England Labor Day weekend, they're not going to have to worry about curtaining sections off. I think that one will legitimately sell out.
Yeah, no, I know. I agree with you wholeheartedly. My hats are off. My hats are off to the European fans. I mean, when I was over there, I was just surprised that, at the reception and the sold out shows and all that. And we made a pretty penny when we went over there.
Honestly, I'd like to go over. I've never been to England.
No, you would have a ball. For some reason, though, and this brings up a very interesting batch of stories that I don't have time to tell all. Something always, and I can't speak for the last 15, 20 years. I really can't. I can't speak for the 90s. Something always happened that was bizarre when you went overseas. People would get over there, and after a week, they would get, I don't know what they would get. But it was overseas when Luna Vachon jumped me on the elevator. It was overseas when Arn Anderson and Sid Vicious tried to kill each other. It was overseas where Samu at the bar at the hotel, for some reason, he decided to choke me out and put me to sleep.
Really?
Yeah.
Mm.
It was
you and Bret Hart wound up in that Nazi bar over in Germany.
Yeah, it was over there. We go to the Nazi bar with Bret Hart, and his punk ass left me.
He found some German Nazi rat.
He must have. I mean, I can't think of no other reason.
And you must have felt a little uncomfortable.
I don't know. For some reason, I was too stupid to be uncomfortable.
You enjoyed the Nazi bar.
Maybe I didn't know where I was. I don't think I knew where I was really until he told me later on.
Oh, until he smartened you up, you didn't even know what was happening.
I didn't even know where I was. It was Bret Hart. I didn't think Bret Hart would take me nowhere where my life was in danger.
Well,
but I'm in Hitler's Haven.
Hitler's Haven. I like that. Well, and then to give the fans a sample if they didn't hear about it, September they have that big Labor Day event they're working on in jolly old England. In October, they're going to return to the Kingdom of Jeddah in Saudi Arabia for one of those great Thursday afternoon pay-per-views that are difficult to watch. And then Survivor Series returns to Boston on a Saturday. I believe November the 22nd of 2022. We've had 3 Survivor Series here in Boston. They've all sucked. So it'll be interesting to see if they can finally bring Boston a good Survivor Series, because the 3 we've had have been atrocious, including the one you were on.
Now, are you going to go to WrestleMania? Or are you going to Dallas? I
know I'm going to go to Dallas. I can't imagine that I won't somehow go to WrestleMania. I don't know what the situation is going to be with the kid. I don't know what the situation is going to be with WrestleCon. I don't know what the situation is going to be with attempting to try and do a Wrestle House where there's so many talents in town. There's a lot up in the air, but I can't imagine that I won't be in Dallas. Other than that, I don't know.
Yeah. Now, speaking of WrestleCon, what have you heard? Are they going to come back? Are they coming back? Are they going to try to do something this WrestleMania coming up?
I sure hope so, with the amount of money that they have of ours for booths.
Yeah.
But they're good, honorable people. I can't imagine that they won't. But that's a lot of cash that's been sitting on the table for a couple of years now. You know what I mean? I think we paid for the booth. My God, in the summer of 2019.
All right. Well, if you do a Boston wrestling booth, save me a spot.
All right. Well, I'm looking forward to it. If it does happen, it's always cool to be able to meet fans literally from all over the world. And again, it's a much more relaxed atmosphere than the WrestleMania fan access, where there's so many fans to go. They have to just rush them. And outside of maybe someone like Steve Austin, WrestleCon isn't like that, which I think is nice.
And the response that they get from the fans for WrestleCon is tremendous. I mean, you would think that they would have problems because they have access over there with the roster from WWE, NXT, and whatever. But no, they get a lot of fans that come over to see the old dogs and the former talent, and I think it's fantastic.
Oh, there's so many fans.
A really good show.
There's so many fans in town that weekend. There's something for everybody, whether you want WWE, whether you want the legends, whether you want independents, whether you want what could be Ring of Honor's final events that weekend. Impact will probably try and pull off a TV taping as they have in the past. WWE will go all out. I think they're going to be back to having the Hall of Fame, SmackDown, and Raw. It's going to be a great weekend. It's so much fun. I hope Linda is going to let the little one go like he was able to go to Tampa and take it in for the first time.
What weekend is that? The dates? What weekend is
that? I think the first weekend of the month.
Which month? April or March?
No, April. I think it's April 2nd. I think the Mania dates are April 2nd and 3rd, if I remember right.
3rd. Okay.
So if you want to mark it down on the official Oscar calendar.
Yeah, no, I do, because I don't know why I love you so much, but I'm thinking if you going, then we're gonna try. We're gonna make it down there.
All right, baby. We're gonna light Dallas up. We're trying to get old John Cena Sr. See if the TSA will leave his piece alone. But anyway, we're running out of time on this one, folks. Oscar, any final thoughts about Saturday night? What merchandise are you gonna have Saturday night?
Well, I don't know. I got some. You know what? Let me tell you what.
You have any Oscar T-shirts left? I know Gwen Reese has one.
I got some Men on a Mission T-shirts.
All right.
That I got to dig. I got some caricature T-shirts that I got to dig out, because, like I said, we unpacking.
Well, get digging. We got 5 nights, baby.
Yeah, I'm gonna get some. I want to try to get some different photos.
All right,
not a lot, but I have enough. And the meet and greet and taking photos with the fans, and being a part of a couple of the encyclopedias.
I think you're in all the encyclopedias.
Oh, well, was there a new one that has come out?
I think during coronavirus, I think there was a 4th one. I think they're releasing them almost too quick, but there's so many talent that comes and goes now, they could probably release an encyclopedia every year.
What year was the last? What year was the latest one?
I think first quarter of this year. I could be wrong. It's something they sent to me, and I haven't even opened the box yet. I shouldn't even say that out loud.
Well, take a look at it and see if I got a couple of good photos in there. I mean, I feel bad that I don't have a single, a photo that's just me.
All your photos are group photos. Yeah.
Yeah, well, group photos, but and I talked to the guy.
Yeah, what'd he say?
I think he told me, yeah.
He told you, what?
I asked him, if I can get a single photo in there, and I think he told me, all right, well, when I would do the next one, I'll do that. Oh. I don't know if he was trying to get me off the phone or whatever, but I damn sure remember calling him up and asking him.
Oh, all right. Well, knock on wood, there is one in there, or if they make a fifth one, hopefully we'll see you there. But speaking of seeing you there, fans, again, we are running out of time, literally, with this program, even more so with an event, in some ways 2 years in the making, in some ways 2 decades in the making, as Boston Wrestling MWF celebrates its 20th anniversary this Saturday night at Memorial Hall in Melrose, Massachusetts. VIP packages and tickets are on sale now. The phone is ringing off the hook for this one, fans. A plethora of 90s legends, plus the athletes of today and tomorrow are going to literally light that ring on fire at Memorial Hall. You are going to have memories that'll last a lifetime. This isn't some indie show at a VFW. This isn't a WWE TV taping where you'll forget the matches the next week. These are memories that'll stay with you. We implore you to check it out. Have some fun with us. It is our gift to you, the amount of work we have put into this event to try and make it as great as possible. For your host, the man on a mission himself, Oscar, I'm Dan Marati. We'll be back, I guess, with maybe the post-game show next Monday night after Raw. Until we speak again, folks, you and yours, be well, be healthy. Get those tickets at bostonwrestling.com. Good night from Boston. Wrestling fans, years have become months that have become weeks, and now we're talking days and even hours as Boston Wrestling MWF celebrates its 20th anniversary, going back to the 90s. Saturday night, November the 13th at Memorial Hall in Melrose, Massachusetts. The superstars and legends of yesterday, today, and tomorrow will take part in a live wrestling event, autograph photo, fan fest, VIP exclusive Q&A, plus the kickoff to our annual Paul Bear Holiday Headlocks Toy Drive. After Jimmy Kimmel embarrassed Melrose for, well, being Melrose, we're also going to have a superstar costume contest where best dressed wins an awesome autographed prize. On November the 13th, you'll see and meet two-time WWE World Champion and Hall of Famer Bob Backlund, WWE Hall of Famer Bushwhacker Luke, WWE Hall of Famer Alundra Blayze, a.k.a. Medusa, from WCW, WWE Intercontinental and Tag Team Champion Marty Jannetty, the Doctor of Style Slick, Doink The Clown, Duke the Dumpster Droese, Portuguese Man of War Aldo Montoya, plus two-time Impact Wrestling World Champion Die Hard Eddie Edwards, JTG of Cryme Time, John Cena Sr., Oscar of Men on a Mission, AEW's Jora, Johl, and more. VIP packages and tickets are on sale now at bostonwrestling.com. We'll see you live November the 13th.